Every hour she stays awake, she gets stronger. But the human body can only go so long without sleep. After 4 days, you die. Christy woke up in a strange metal chamber. Water flowed into the chamber, and an intercom crackled. She saw dark shapes of other people in the water chamber, and she couldn't help but scream. "Where am I?" she said. "Not to worry," a voice in the intercom said. "You have been chosen for the next step in human evolution." Christy looked around. There were 2 other girls in the metal chamber with her, with glowing green eyes. Christy panicked, then looked and saw in the water on the floor, her eyes were glowing green too. The water flowed until it was up to her shins, and she was panicking. If the water kept filling the chamber, she would drown. She would die. But then the water stopped. "Let me out of here," Christy said. "What's going on?" another girl in the prison said. Christy and the other women screamed for help, but there wasn't any sound. Eventually, when they learned that they were stuck down here, Christy remembered. She'd seen the other 2 women before, one taller than her and athletic, and another one shorter and shyer. They were both other students on her college campus that had answered a strange ad, $200 for a science experiment. "You're Christy, right?" the taller girl said. "Anna." Christy nodded. Then they looked at the third girl. "I'm Anna," the tall girl said. The girl couldn't even speak. She was too terrified. "Don't try to get to know each other," a voice over the intercom said. "Only one of you will leave this chamber alive. The apex predator. The one who represents the next step in human "Shut up!" Christy screamed. "Let us out of here!" She knew that they were somewhere deep under the university. But this chamber looked expensive. The walls glistened with metal, and they were clearly severely trapped. The only ventilation in this tiny room was a single pipe that would fill the room with water. A couple hours passed. Christy felt stronger than she should. The other girls were feeling it too, and their eyes were glowing green. "Did he inject us with something?" Christy said, looking at the shorter girl with an injection mark in her neck. "I don't know," Anna said. She felt the walls. "It's steel, I think." But when she touched the steel, something strange happened. The wall gave a little bit. That didn't make any sense, but Christy noticed it. She went to the wall and pushed into it as hard as she could. She was shocked to see her handprint in the metal of the wall. The intercom crackled open. "You see the gift I give you now. With each hour that goes past, your strength increases. Soon humanity will not need sleep, but I'm afraid the side effects may kick in anytime soon." The smaller girl screamed. She punched the wall with all of her might. Christy and Anna stepped back. The smaller girl turned towards them, scared. "Calm down," Christy said. "We have to work together to get out of here." But the girl ran towards them. She'd had a complete mental break. The trauma of the situation had driven her mad, and she punched at Christy. She got hit in the gut and flung into the wall. The impact of the wall and the steel should have killed her, but she was just mildly hurt. She was somehow durable, too. "Get off of her," Anna said, pushing the small girl back to the other end of the thing. Christy could hear someone on the intercom laughing, enjoying whatever he was watching. But there was no time. The small girl punched Anna, crumpling her to the ground into the water, and started holding her down, drowning her. Christy could see that they were all super strong, and though the tall girl was fighting, the small girl had leverage. She was controlling her, and she was drowning her. "Yes," a voice in the intercom said. "Drowning may be the only way with your abilities to truly let you go." Christy screamed at the small girl to get off of her, but she wasn't listening. Her eyes were glowing green, full of hatred. Christy did the only thing she could think to do. She ran headfirst into the small girl, smashing her into the wall. The small girl was dazed, turning around, turning towards Christy. Then Christy held her under the water. "Good," a voice in the intercom said. "Now you just have one left. Sleep well." The lights of the chamber went off, but Christy could see the light of a camera more clearly in the room. "This is a joke. We can't sleep here," Christy said, kicking the water. "I know," the taller girl said. "I feel stronger somehow." Christy did too. "How long have we been awake?" she said. 12 hours? "No, it's got to be closer to 16, the taller girl said. "I feel exponentially stronger than when I woke up." They practiced with their powers then. They were strong enough to push against the wall, but they were underground, and the steel went deeper and deeper. Christy screamed, punching into the steel wall, but it was so dark she couldn't tell if she was doing anything. The intercom didn't move, and Christy started to realize she would probably die down here. Even if she won this sick little game that was being played by the man in the intercom, there was no telling. Even if you let her go, how could she survive like this? Christy started crying, holding the metal of the wall. "Hey," a voice in the darkness said. "Chin up. There's enough time for crying when we get out of this." Christy nodded. "Okay," Christy said. "How do we get out of here?" She formed a plan with the taller girl, whispering in each other's ears. She felt the sleep deprivation pound down on her. She wanted to lie down. She could barely stand. But still, the strength inside her was getting more and more and more. The lights flickered on and Christy held her hand over her eyes. She couldn't believe how bright it was. They'd been awake for 24 hours now, and they were only getting stronger. "You know how this ends," the voice in the intercom said. "If you kill the other one, I'll let you go," the voice in the intercom said. Christy shook her head. "No." The taller girl, Anna, nodded. "We're not doing it," Anna said. The voice in the intercom chuckled. "Oh, you will. Just give it time." Under the light, it was dead silence. They hadn't eaten. They were starving. And yet Christy felt like she could stand up straight for hours. She noticed that she could jump out of the water and touch the ceiling with ease. She was strong in her arms, her legs, everywhere. She knew she was some kind of superhero. She'd been injected, and it was tied to her sleep somehow. "This is an experiment," Christy said to Anna. "What?" "It's an experiment. He doesn't know how strong we are." Anna nodded. Christy looked up at the camera and smiled. She jumped up out of the water and snatched the camera out of the corner, ripping it out of its socket. Immediately, the intercom screamed, "Hey!" And the water in the chamber got shocked with electricity. Christy fell to the ground and pulsed in pain, Anna crying as well. "Don't defy me," the voice in the intercom said. But Christy could hear something else in the voice. Fear. He hadn't done this before. They could take advantage of it. After the electric shocks ended, Christy helped Anna to her feet. "I'm not hurting you," Christy said. "We're getting out of here. Together." They went to the steel wall facing away from the camera. "Help me feel for a seam," Christy said. They felt the seams of the wall, looking for a groove, a divot. They couldn't find anything. Anna felt along the other walls, then smiled. "I found it." Christy turned and walked across the water to the other end of the wall, and then they saw a tiny little groove in it. "If we push as hard as we can, he doesn't know how strong we are," Christy said. The two of them pressed against the door with all their might. Christy felt her muscles coursing. She'd never been an athlete, but now she was fully pushing it, and the other girls screamed as well. "It's no use," the voice in the intercom said. "There's no reason for you to choom." The door cracked. Immediately, the voice on the intercom panicked. "No!" "Okay, experiment failed. Kill each other right now, or I'll fill the entire chamber." "You won't," Christy said, "because we're going to get out first." They pushed against the door, and she saw the door crack. The seam of the chamber was breaking, and pressure was filling the chamber. Water started to flow in, up to Christy's waist. "Christy," Anna said, "keep pushing." The two girls pushed as hard as they could together. They'd both been awake for 30 hours now, and they were stronger and stronger. But the tiredness was too much. The water was getting up to their neck. They couldn't get leverage onto the door. "I can," Anna said. "You can," Christy said. They pushed and pushed and pushed. The water covered their faces. Christy saw the other girl pass out, whether from tiredness or lack of oxygen under the water, and she knew it was up to her now. All of her strength inside of her. She felt along the seam and ripped against it with all of her might, putting all of her strength into one finger. She didn't hear what happened next. She only felt it. A huge flush of pressure into a metallic hallway, hearing the footsteps of someone running away. "Anna," Christy said. She crawled, waterlogged, to the other end of the hallway. It was a sub-basement of some kind in a university science building. And when she found Anna's face, she started crying and screaming. Anna had drowned in the water. Christy, for better or for worse, had won his sick little competition. Christy screamed in rage and ran after the footsteps. She should have been exhausted. She should have been dead, but she was still pushing. The strength was coursing through her veins. A giant door closed above her, but Christy punched through the door with no issue. Inside the door, a nerdy guy in a clown mask put his hands up. "I made you a god! I made you a god!" Christy cracked her knuckles. "You killed 2 innocent girls," Christy said. "I know," he said. "And I haven't slept for weeks." He injected himself in the thigh with the serum. Christy knew what happened before it was too late. His eyes glowed green massively. He threw the desk with the computer at Christy, and even though she was so strong, she got knocked flat on her back like she got run over by a freight train. The guy in the clown mask jumped against the ceiling and kicked down, and Christy knew that if he connected with her head or her neck, she was dead. Christy rolled out of the way. He crunched into the floor. "Don't you get it?" he said. "You're too stupid to understand how all this works. My combination of intelligence and strength makes me..." Christy punched him in the face. He staggered back, clearly having never been in a fight before. He swung at her wildly, but he had no coordination, no technique. Christy remembered the self-defense class she took after that night that man had made her feel like nothing, like she was disposable, to be used. Christy screamed in rage. She stomped against his knee, breaking it, snapping it in half. "But I've been awake longer than you," the man in the clown mask said, trying to use his strength to throw something at Christy in the sub-basement, but there was nothing for him to throw. "I'm stronger," he screamed. "I don't care," Christy said, and she punched him in the face, knocking him unconscious. 2 weeks later, Christy stood on top of a skyscraper. She'd been awake for 3 days straight. She felt the strength coursing through her veins. The police scanner beeped in her ear. "Insomnia?" the dispatcher said. "Yeah?" "He escaped." "You gotta be kidding me," Christy said. "I'm not kidding," the dispatcher said. "He's been awake for 2 days straight." "I'll get him," Christy said, now going by the name Insomnia, a superhero protecting her whole city. "He's calling himself Dr. Wake." Christy smirked a little, thinking about the last time she snapped his knee back in half and hurt him. She thought about the 2 girls that died in his basement, just so he could have an experiment. She thought about what it meant to be so strong and to have it be tied to feeling so tired all the time. And she promised to whatever was holy that she would make Dr. Wake pay.